Hi everyone, this is Aki with another tax crime case. We're going to go over the tax evasion case that I found on US Department of Justice website, tax division, about Zachary Friedman, who was living in New York. And between 2013, 14, and 15, he actually worked for a company, Mina Group company, headquartered in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And he was a senior executive, actually not just a senior executive, chief financial officer for the company. And the company was providing petroleum transportation services for guess who? US Department of Defense. And between 2013 and 15, he pleaded guilty to concealing $530,000 in income, which is equivalent to $207,000 in tax loss, 39%. So I'm assuming he was in the 39% tax bracket, which in 2013-15 was anyone making over $400,000. He was actually fourth employee of the defense contracting company that pleaded guilty. So there were three others who also pleaded guilty. And he is facing maximum 5 years supervised release, restitution, monetary penalties. Now, who was investigating the case? So the case was investigated by IRS Criminal Investigation, which, okay, makes sense because they're probably having your tax returns, something is not matching up. Another institution that was helping was Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, which I was thinking maybe Mina Group was doing some services in Afghanistan or some other of the regions that would be involved, as well as Joint Chief of Global Tax Enforcement, J5, which is basically taxing authorities of Australia, Canada, Netherlands, UK, and United States that share the information. If he was living in Dubai, in that region, in nearby Asia, he could have account in Australia, and some of the information may have been shared, and that's why how he was basically caught with all that information flowing in from the jurisdiction, because he found himself, making all this extra income, and he was doing really well because between 2013 and 15. In 2014, he received an award from the company for doing so well. So obviously he was making a lot of income for the company. That's why he probably got a bonus, and all these employees got, so much income as well. He knew what he was doing. Not only he's a chief financial officer, so he's in finance, but he's also a frequent contributor to Forbes Magazine, a magazine that specializes in business, finance. They have a list of billionaires. Now, Mina Group, it's located in Dubai, and United Arab Emirates basically consists of these states. Abu Dhabi, that's the capital, that's in the biggest state, and Dubai, it's in another state. US and United Arab Emirates have a big relationship, defense relationship. And United Arab Emirates ranked number 9 as global defense importer. And who do they import most from? United States. 64% of the military expenditure, product services is from the US. So Mina Group was a contractor to US Department of Defense. And actually that's a huge business. It's a really lucrative, really safe business because guess what? Government, Uncle Sam will pay. So there's a lot of contracts for contractors from the Department of Defense, and I pulled this information for 2021. Obviously, Mina Group was a small player, but I just want to show you how many billions we're talking about. And some of these largest companies are providing services like Pfizer, Boeing, and so on. Why is US Department of Defense using contractors? It's like any business. If you a remodeling company, you might outsource your accounting, your payroll, because you want to focus on remodeling. And so it's the same thing for US Department of Defense. They want soldiers to be soldiers instead of, just focusing on cafeteria, cleaning, laundry, and transportation, for example, of like petroleum can be outsourced because easily you can change the outsourcing versus like, let's say if your soldiers are doing some tasks or job, if you don't no longer need it, now you have to try to retrain them and use them somewhere else. Now, I was just trying to find out how much, maybe Friedman was making, and I came with over 400 for sure, probably over $1 million maybe. For chief financial officers, on salary.com, we're talking about over 400 easily. And then for larger companies, it can be close to $1 million. So it depends. So I know for sure his income was in the 39% up tax bracket. And when we talk about tax bracket, I pulled this information here for 2015. The US tax system is called progressive. What it means that you're not taxed at one rate, but at different increment of your income, you tax a different tax rate. And for 2015, these were the tax rates. So some income from 0 to, let's say, 9,000, if you're a single filer, will be taxed at 10%, from 9,000 to 37 at 15, and so on. And anything over 400 will be over the 39% tax rate. So you're not taxed 40% on the whole income, but at anything above certain amount, it'd be that tax rate. We know that he made a lot of money, and obviously like he can't hide it in the mattress. So he was trying to maybe create an account or put it somewhere, or like Australia or some other country over there. And somehow the information must have been disclosed. Now, IRS has tax laws. If you have any foreign bank accounts overseas, even if you live in the United States, you're not just working overseas, but even if you still live here, you have a requirement to disclose foreign bank and financial accounts, which is called FBAR, and there's a separate filing system for it. And there's very steep penalties, up to 50% if you don't disclose it. Now, if you work and live overseas, do you have to pay taxes in the States? Yes. If you're a US citizen, if you don't denounce your citizenship, you are subject to tax on worldwide income from all sources. So regardless if you live there, your whole life is there. And we know then Zachary, from this article here, it seems like his secondary residence was in New York City because he probably lived for those years over there. And his primary residence was in Dubai. And if you select that, and there's also rules how many days and so on you have to live in your primary residence versus secondary residence in order to take advantage of these. And they're complicated tax laws. That's why you have agencies, even like management consulting companies, big corporations having internal departments to help their expats, which are basically US citizens living overseas, with their taxes, because it depends on the jurisdiction, on the tax treaties between the countries of what kind of advantage you can take. But we know that he considered Dubai residence as his primary residence. And that's important because he could take advantage of these two tax regulation, which is one is foreign earned income exclusion. And in 2021, it was 108,700 that you could exclude from US taxation. However, we know that he was probably, we're talking about over 400 to $1 million. So that's really not going to give him as much benefit. Now, the other rule is you could take advantage of foreign tax credits. So if you pay taxes overseas, you could get some of the credit and some other things that could be excluded. You can't use both of these tax rules. You have to pick which one you want to, which is more beneficial to you. It really depends on your situation, but it's complicated. So you do have to have someone who knows what they're doing to do your taxes. Friedman was providing false information to his tax preparer and was underreporting tax income. I hope you enjoyed this tax case and learned a little bit about taxes. And thanks so much for watching.